Good evening, Facebook family. Happy Friday. I hope this week has brought you much joy and that you're amped and pumped for the weekend, that you have something good planned, or maybe you're just relaxing at home. Whatever you do, make sure you get outside. The sun is shining, the weather is good. Kind of reminds me of a reggae song, and there's also, really good folk music like Summer Breeze makes me feel fun. Jason Mraz did a really great cover of that. I always seem to scratch my nose whenever I start these vlogs. Anyway, we're up to vlog number 11, and I thought I would do a follow-up to the post or vlog that I did yesterday, which got really good positive response. I didn't have any negative comments. It's funny because I pray before I do these vlogs that God uses me as an instrument of His Word and as a testimony to His desires and thoughts. And I didn't realize this, but one of my wonderfully beautiful, lovely followers who's been with me since the beginning told me that she recently had a good friend of hers come out to her as homosexual, and that she was praying for this individual, and that my input really helped and benefited her a lot. And it's just so interesting because I didn't know that. I didn't know that I had hit the nail right on the head by my vlog from yesterday. So I was really, really blessed and pleased to hear that wonderful feedback. And thank you for being so respectful of my viewpoints. That being said, I would like to move on and talk to you a little bit today on the topic of relationships. You might have seen my post about how much I was vlogging about my Shutterfly. It's the beginning of Dee and Jeff, and in the back, this is another cover art. These are both cover arts. We have built, here's our first picture, the beginning. I am obsessed with Shutterfly. We're like teammates. That's him trying to put the strap of my dress back on. And has a little quote. It says, "A perfect relationship isn't ever actually perfect. It's just one where both people never give up." And I love this. You could see the wooing. This is his birthday card to me. It's a love poem where he talks about our life together and future marriage. And you can see, flowers, my cat in the background, Batman, he's sleeping on the couch next to me. A picture of me in the bottom. I've written, for I see the future in your eyes. It is to you that I trust. It is to you whom I can never say goodbye. And that was a concluding line of the poem that I had written, interwoven throughout this book. We have like kooky goofy laughs. Anyway, it's wonderful. You'll be able to look more at this when you come over. I don't know if you're going to be able to make it to my housewarming party. We've been living together for 2 months, and I've had my family over, but we haven't had both our families over. It's just a great tool project that I'm going to be utilizing for a while. I definitely see wedding photos being put in this, or maybe a different one. I really, really see, you can see us kissing here, ooh la la, romantic. It's the beginning. It's the early years of Jeff and Deanne. And this is black and white. It's a nice hardcover. The hardcover is $10, but that you have to pay for. It's mandatory. And then I had a free Shutterfly from when I bought my wedding dress at David's Bridal. So really excited. We're doing amazingly well. We've bonded in such an amazing way. Yeah, that's right. You heard it. You heard me correctly. I have a wedding dress, but I don't have a ring on my finger. So I hope he pops a question soon. I've been praying about it out loud in front of him daily. In fact, I've prayed, we pray twice a day. Like I said, sometimes we'll pray. He'll pray, I'll pray. Then he'll start to pray again. And I'll start to pray again. So we have a good 15, maybe 20 minutes sometime prayer sessions. I mean, sometimes they can be quick. They'll be like 2 to 3 minutes before he runs out the door. But it's just a routine that we have really built our relationship on. And I've never had a relationship that has done that in the past. So I'm really, really blessed that I have such an amazing guy in my life who he made me pancakes, blueberry pancakes for breakfast and a veggie burger for lunch. And I was like, babe, can I just sit on the couch and not do my workout? He's like, no, do it. You know, I mean, he loves me for who I am. He doesn't want me to get any bigger. And he just wants me to stay in shape and be the best me. And that's all I can ask for in a partner, you know. My ex-husband Lance, I was way smaller than I am now, and he left me because he wasn't like attracted to me, which makes zero sense. I did not see it coming. I was like totally blindsided by it, and it was devastating. You know, I couldn't. If you had said an hour beforehand, you know, he's gonna break up with you, I'd be like, bullshit. You know, not only did I have a ring on my finger, we had exchanged vows at St. Paul's Cathedral in Minnesota, which is a beautiful, huge cathedral, prettier than the places in Boston. And I was like, BS, you know, he had unpacked his stuff and was packing up boxes so that we could move to Boston together, as we had planned. We're going to drive from Minnesota through South Dakota so I could see Mount Rushmore, and back to Boston, live with my parents for a little bit, get an apartment, start a life together, and plan for a wedding for the following summer, a big one with all our family and friends. So I was shocked, you know, and I know firsthand how devastating heartbreak can be, because it's a risk to love. And it's a risk to trust. And it's a risk to commit yourself to someone wholeheartedly. You know, those are three big things. And what my ex-husband, fiance, you know, we weren't legally married, but we were spiritually married, which I think counts way more in the grand scheme of things. If we exchange our love and pronounce before God, we lit a unity candle together, we said prayers, he wrote his vows to me. I mean, our relationship was pretty intense. It was so intense that it was like a high for him. I mean, we all have a high when it comes to our love partner. Even a crush, it stimulates that part of the brain that is associated with crack cocaine, the same area that lights up. So I mean, he used to text me like daily. I mean, we'd fall asleep on the phone together. So he would text me, and we met each other on a vegetarian dating website. I'm a vegetarian. He was more towards vegan. You know, he forbade me, which I could not stand. He forbade me to eat Taco Bell. He was like, "Oh, babe, we're gonna go to Chipotle. I don't want you eating that stuff." You know, and I was like, I ate Taco Bell. Like, I've had it 3 times this week, and my boyfriend just gave me $6. I might head out there on the way home tonight. You know, there's no great guarantee that I'm not going to stop in for my burrito, my $2.77 veggie bean burrito, cheesy bean and rice burrito with extra red sauce and a side of nachos and cheese. That is my go-to order. It's funny, it is the theme restaurant of stoners everywhere. Like, I was driving up, like, broad daylight, right? The sun's out, sky's shining, and there was this stoner. This girl had this straggly brown hair, and she was all, like, glasses, and this kind of fat, kind of chubby, curly-haired Mexican guy getting their tacos, pulling out of the parking lot, billows of pot smoke oozing out of their car, listening to loud music. I was like, Lord, these are my people. People think I'm high a lot. I'm not at all. Like, I'm just high on life. You know, if I was high, I'd probably be asleep. Same for alcohol. You know, I'm not going to be like, woo! I'm such a woo-woo girl. You know, I think of How I Met Your Mother. I'm total woo-hoo girl. And but I'm not drunk and I'm not high. I'm just high on life and the enthusiasm and the vibes. I'm very sensitive to vibes, and so I want a relationship that is like my grandparents. My grandparents were each other's one and only ever, sexual experience. My grandmother did go on dates because before then, if you weren't going steady with someone, you could like date a new guy every night and not be considered a slut. Whereas I dated a new guy every night, but I spread my legs for that person. And you can learn all about my journey in my second book, which is called A Single Lady's Summer Secrets, A Sizzling Confessional, NC-17. Don't tell. But yeah, I don't know if I would feel comfortable dating me. I don't know how my boyfriend does it. And I think he's very defensive and super territorial over me. He, like, for example, like a guy told me I was sexy and he got mad at me for it. And I told him, I'm like, well, this guy, we're friends. He told me I was sexy. And I like immediately drew the line. I was like, whoa, stop. Like, oh, you don't know all about me. Like, no, that's unacceptable behavior. And, it was his first offense, and I forgave him for it. But my boyfriend Jeff was like, "Meh." He's like, I can't believe you even asked me that question. Of course you can't talk to him. And he forbade me not to talk to this guy, and I was like wicked annoyed. I made posts about it. And, people all over the world, literally from here to England, weighed in on the subject. And, at the end, nothing is worth me sacrificing my relationship with Jeff. I mean, I love Jeff. I think he was a bit harsh for blaming me. I mean, of course I'm sexy. He thinks he's the only one that notices, or if he even notices, Sometimes he doesn't. I mean, he's a total guy. Yeah, so so I stopped. I stopped talking to this individual. I was going to bring him. He was engaged, first of all. He's a promoter. And I was going to bring him to Bible study that, 2 days from now on Friday, which I'm going to tonight. If anyone wants to meet up at Pentecostals of Boston in Hyde Park, it's about 10 minutes from Canton, Massachusetts. I can pick you up if you're en route. Coming up from New Bedford, so down 24. That stops Mansfield, Bridgewater, Randolph, Brockton. So hit me up. I'll be your girl. I can also meet you at the T station if you need me to. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful family. Full of community. It's like I have 2 of my bridesmaids are in the church, and everyone from my Bible study is definitely coming to my wedding. Like front row seats. Like, and I'm either getting married by my pastor, or I'm thinking about my father-in-law-ish. He's also our church mentor. I'm not sure what he's comfortable with. He's definitely going to be in the wedding party on Jeff's behalf. So that's coming at you next year. But it's been 2 months, and we were, up in the jacuzzi, not jacuzzi, like this really nice, anniversary celebration last weekend, but he didn't propose. So I'm trying not to get too disappointed. I'm giving him time. He's been heartbroken before, so trust is hard for him. And so that's another thing too. Like, I've been heartbroken. Like, literally, Lance, my ex-husband, fiance, whatever, he took my heart. I gave it to him, like, please don't hurt me. And he just like looked at it and he's like, yeah, I think I'm all set. At first he lavished love upon me, right? He took my beating heart and he pumped it up, sprinkled fairy dust on it, put some makeup on it, and just love, love, love. And he would send me texts about how much he loved. He loved my eyes, he loved my cheeks, he loved my nose, he loved my butt, he loved my smile, he loved my kisses. He would crave me like a drug addict. And, so he was super, super all the time, all about this heart. And then he was like, you know what? I have to make a move to come visit you. Oh, pardon me, my phone is ringing. It's the stupid people about student loan forgiveness, which I already have, thank the Lord. I can only work part-time. It's total sidebar, huh? Because I have student loan forgiveness until May of next year, and then I'm $25,000 in my pocket, well, so to speak, and I'm really grateful for that opportunity. Sometimes it pays to be a little bit crazy. I'm seriously certifiable. I've been hospitalized many times. But anyway, that's find out more about that in my book. So click the website, even if it'll take you 2 or 3 minutes to see my posts, and order the book off Amazon Prime today, or you can buy a copy off of me. I only get 20% off of Amazon Prime, whereas if you bought the hard copy from me, I would give you a discount. I keep the cash. Life is beautiful. So anyway, Lance would look at my heart, and he just decided, after a course of a few days of me being like, woohoo, I'm going to eat some mac and cheese instead. He was like, you know what? I'm all set. I think I'm going to pass. And so, yeah, he here, take it back. I'm just going to throw it away, pretend like it never happened, and just move on. Literally, he dropped me as if I was dead, buried, cold case, lock and key. He never talked to me again. He wrote me one very, very cold letter where he signed his name, Lance Mexner. At the end, I'm sorry for those of you, whatever, actually no one knows him. He's an asshole. I don't even change his name from my books. He needs to live with that shame that he abandoned someone who was A, emotionally and mentally fragile, and B, I would have walked through fire for him as I would for Jeff. And it was just a devastating time. I ballooned up to 250 pounds, which was really noticeable. I'm 215 right now. which is pretty big. I mean, I think it's more, just like punch, if anything. Like, my arms are pretty disgusting. My thighs are a little thick. My boobs look great, I gotta say. They're amazing. But thankfully my cheeks aren't as fat as they were before when I was 24. And I like I said in my previous vlogs posts, I went to India thereafter. So I was sitting in India and, I was 250 pounds. I had a High Lama tell me I looked good, which was really awesome because I was like, to be hit on by like a celibate Lama is quite the compliment. I wasn't expecting that from the Rinpoche. But yeah, but it's funny because I'm only one size bigger than I was, well, maybe 1 to 2, well, 1.5 size bigger than I was when I was in high school. And at high school, I was like 130 at the most, probably 125-ish, super fit, very skinny. I was a size small, I just have these childbearing hips, but I was a size small t-shirt. Right now I'm a size large for sure. So yeah, I've lived as a skinny Benny. I know what it's like to be a skinny life, and I like my curves. They say Marilyn Monroe was a size. I've heard size 12, size 14, and size 16, even up to as high as up to 18. So a real woman has curves, okay, like it or not, which you should like. It has more, things for you to hold on to, I would say. But yeah, so I know what heartbreak feels like, and I know that infidelity, this is a really long post. I know that infidelity is really, really hard. It's really hard to recover from. It's really hard to not take personally. Sometimes it really does have nothing to do with you. It's more from, the wounds, the insecurity, the adventure, the excitement, the heat of the moment from your cheating sig oath, as they say, and the new girl, but your significant other. So don't try to take it as harsh. But I do believe that couples counseling is key. I could do couples counseling for you guys. I have a ridiculously sliding scale in terms of my rates. But yeah, so it's hard to recover and bounce back from, especially if you're arguing, if things are tense. If you're arguing more than, like, I would say 10% of the time, that's a huge ish. I was just listening. I listen to webinars. I listen to blogs and podcasts all the time. So I was just listening to like a woman of wisdom thing, and they said that even in soulmate relationships, you disagree on average about 9 core key subjects. I'm like, that is huge. Like 9 things. Like my boyfriend and I, we fight about the fact that he eats meat, a lot. Well, we got pretty heated about it the other day. And he was annoyed. I was annoyed. But I think 9 items is pretty substantial and significant. He fights about my flirtatious behavior, which is really just friendly behavior. And people, oh, that's a loud noise. People misinterpret it as, flirtatious advances when they're not. But yeah, so it's about 18 minutes. So like I was saying, infidelity is hard to recover from. It takes a lot. I would read a lot of books. I would talk it out a lot. Once is forgivable. Once is a mistake. Heat of the moment. He was there. I was there. It happens. But twice, that's a choice. Twice is a total choice. I can forgive a mistake. I can forgive Jeff for kissing someone, as devastating as it's going to be, and we would have to work on a relationship hardcore if he were to do that. But if, or to, touch someone's butt, but he would never. He would literally walk out of the building before he ever approached another woman. But I trust him. I don't trust me. I trust me 99%. 1% of me is still that little slut from last summer. But yeah, second time it's a choice. You're making a conscious decision to I'm going over there. Things are gonna go down. Also with fights, I click on the link above. Call me, even if it's just like, Deanne, tell me what the secret is, and we'll click it from there. I know one line that will de-escalate an argument between 2 people who love each other like that. Okay, this is how effective this line is. Jeff and I were fighting, clashing. I was ready to pack my stuff and go. I'm out tonight. It was like 12:30, 1 o'clock at night, and I was exhausted. I was in my pajamas. He was being a jerk. I think he had a few drinks that night, which is fine. It was his night. And he literally, I'm like, if I had gas money, I would be out of here. And I was like, I'm going. I don't care. I'll just pull over and die on the side of the road. He comes in as I'm packing up a box of my stuff, and he throws $20 at me. He's like, here, I don't want you to, get lost on your way out. He gives me gas money. And I was like, en route to the door, and I stop. I look him dead in the eye. I say this one line. I stayed. Albeit, I slept in the bedroom. He got the couch, even though it's technically his house. Yeah, right. It's actually the cat's house. But, yeah, so he slept on the couch that night. But, the next morning he crawled into bed with me. We cuddled. We talked. I forgave him. And if you haven't had the first fight with your sig oth yet, you might want to pick a topic to debate, whether it be homosexual rights, animal cruelty, abortion, hot button religion, hot button issues that you could really kind of clash a little on, or grow, as I say, because out of conflict rises peace and understanding. That's the goal, that you come out a little bit more educated about the other side. So I think you should pick a topic that's highly debatable. Politics, great topic. Women's rights, and hash it out. See where you stand. And if you can fight together and come back, a stronger unit, then that is tremendous growth. I highly recommend that you pray together. And I also am a big proponent of pet names. Princess D, as my mom also calls me, and anyone who can recognize the wriggleness of my semi-updo. And he's Boo Bear. He's just always been my Boo Bear. Every single man that I've ever loved has been named, has had his own unique pet name, and they've all been my precious baby angels. I'm such a they're like kittens and puppies to me. I'm an awesome lover, and know that the right person's out there. I've loved about 2.5 men in my life. Probably 3, maybe at most. And there's a reason why it's not going to work out with the person that it didn't work out with, and that reason could be one phone call away, one day away, one trip to the gas station away. It all makes sense. Someday it'll all make sense. So stay faithful, stay loved, stay blessed. I think I've had a few marriage proposals in my lifetime, and your heart will know when that's the right person for you. All right. Mahalo nui aloha, as they say in my Hawaiian lingo. Stay blessed, stay faithful, stay safe this weekend. Don't overindulge, and stay grounded. Maybe take a time to meditate, drink some water for sure, always. Go for a walk. Stay connected to you, because you are beautiful. All right. God bless. Bye.